Hi there, welcome to HoboRec Bold Sessions. Today I want to talk a little bit about the free plugin bundle from Hofa Plugins. As I said, I'm going to talk about the free plugin bundle from Hofa Plugins that are called Hofa for You. Usually I don't look around much for plugins because I have what I have and I'm comfortable working with that. So I'm not usually out on a quest to find the next great plugin or anything like that. And in this case, I actually don't remember why I stumbled upon Hofa Plugins, but for some reason I did. After I've seen a lot of ads for them, but that's not why I found them, I think. Maybe it was. They actually have a really smart line of plugins. The plugins I usually use since before are like, you know, the usual analog cloned things with a nice graphic interface and stuff like that we all enjoy working with. But I stumbled upon the Hofa plugins and they had some... Now I remember why I found them, because I was Googling for dynamic EQ. That's it. I saw some tutorial somewhere where they used a dynamic EQ, and I had a mix that I was struggling with. I had a snare drum that I didn't get quite as bright as I wanted to because I had too much hi-hat bleed. You know how it is. And I thought with a dynamic EQ I could fix that. I could just raise the top end a little bit just on the hits in an easy way. I stumbled upon Hofa and I tried some of their stuff out. And the cool thing is that they have this Hofa for You bundle that are totally free. You get 5 plugins that I really think you should check out. The first one is Hofa for You Tilt EQ. Second one is the plugin called Blind Test. And then we have their meter and fader plugin, and also project time plugin and Goniometer and Correlator meter, I think it's called, yeah. So let's go through it and see what it does, shall we? Let's start by talking about Tilt EQ. It's actually called Dynamic Tilt EQ because you can pay a little extra to get some dynamics features, which I actually did pay for and I can really recommend it. If you need a cheap alternative to a dynamic EQ, this is really great. But first we have just the EQ function of it is just a tilt EQ, so you can tilt the whole EQ spectra. Don't boost the highs or lows or something like that. You just take the straight EQ line and just tilt it towards the darker or towards the brighter side. And in some occasions this is really useful. Like for example, I often use ribbon microphones when I record electric guitars. I like the frequency balance that the microphone are providing, but it sometimes can be a little dark. But I don't want to just like boost the highs because that will fuck up the balance of the natural EQ curve of the microphone. So it's nice to just be able to like tilt it a bit towards the brighter side and still keep the basic EQ balance of the microphone. The Hofa Tilt EQ also comes with a lot of really nice presets, which of one I use a lot. It's the preset for vinyl mastering that makes everything under 100 Hertz roll off to mono. There are also a lot of other cool presets here. Just scroll through it and there are some useful areas that you might not have been thinking about before. Well, as I said before, I also recommend paying the extra, I think it's around $40 to get the dynamic functions. It might be a little limited compared to a regular dynamic EQ, but actually after getting this I never felt the need of another dynamic EQ, but I guess that depends on how much you use it and what your specific fields of usage are. Second place of those plugins that I use a lot is the Blind Test. I actually use them to produce stuff for this show because it's good to have to compare different compressors, EQs and stuff like that, because it's really easy to get biased by what you want to hear or what you expect to hear. The free version is a bit limited. I think you can compare up to 3 different versions, which is enough for me, but if you want more you can pay a little extra for that too. A cool feature in the plugin is that you have loudness compensation, so you can make more fair choices and decisions. Next plugin is the Meter, Fader and MS Pan. I haven't used this one so much, but it's really potential, and you have a loudness meter, and you can put the meter post or pre the fader, and you can narrow the stereo field. You can listen in mono, you can switch stereo, polarity invert left and right channel towards each other, and it could be really handy. I haven't had that much use of it yet, but it's a really good plugin, so, and you get it for free. So you also get the Goniometer and Correlator meter. This one I haven't used at all. I just had a look at it now just to show you in this video. I guess it's good to have, but I don't use it a lot. I'm more like making my choices out of what I think it sounds like. But of course, if you have issues in what you hear, it's always good to have meters to try to locate the issues, of course. And same here, free stuff, free meters, what's not to like. The last one and the easiest one here is the Project Time plugin. This is something that maybe should be included in the DAWs. It's basically just taking the time. Whenever you open your project and you load the plugin, it's gonna measure the time you've been spending on the project. It can be really handy because if you like lose yourself in a project and you don't know how many hours you put on the mix, it's hard to know how much you're gonna charge to your client. But of course, you're also going to have to remember to pause this if you're going out for lunch or something and leave your project open. I usually keep time pretty good by myself, but this is a really cool feature, and I think it's nice that they threw it in there too. So I would really recommend you to check out the Hofa For You free plugin bundle and see if you like it, because they have a lot of other plugins that seems to be really innovative and like taking another angle of audio plugins as useful tools instead of just copying some old analog gear, because I think we have a lot of those options already. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, hit the like button. See you again in 2 weeks. So cheers, bye bye.